Hello, everybody. I'm here today with Scott Zide. He's owner of LYNC Franchising LLC. Hi, Scott. Welcome to this week's Business Spotlight.
Hi, Kelly.
Hey, I really appreciate you taking some time with us today.
You got it. Great to be here.
Yeah, let's get right to the questions. Just tell me a little bit about your business and how long you've been doing it.
Yeah, so, well, I've been in franchising my whole career. First as a franchisee of multiple brands, and then transitioned over to the franchisor side, and have spent my whole career building brands, creating brands, starting brands. And LYNC Franchising is a scaled multi-branded franchisor with 7 different brands. We have a residential division with 4 brands. Those brands are Outdoor Lighting Perspectives, Archadeck Outdoor Living, Conserva Irrigation, and Superior Fence and Rail. Those are our residential brands. We also have a commercial division with 3 brands: JanPro, FRSTeam, and Intelligent Office.
So excellent. So you are the franchisor for all those brands.
We are the franchisor for all those brands. So we have a support center in Richmond, Virginia, and we have one in Atlanta as well.
Excellent. So ActionCOACH is a franchise as well. And so,
Yep.
So I get the value of franchises, but not everybody does. So how can you explain the value of a franchise to folks?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think first and foremost, a franchise brings a business model and a brand that's proven, that has had success in the past, and there is now a roadmap for franchisees. So I think for first and foremost is a franchisee is investing in a business that has been proven out over time. Secondly, you get a support team. There's a team behind you that's there to help train and coach and mentor and be there for you as the franchisee. In comparison, if you were doing this on your own, you would be on an island. You wouldn't have all that support. So for example, we have on the residential side of the business, we have a team of 53 of us that are here to support our 4 brands. And our mission here is really to serve our franchisees and do everything we can to increase the likelihood of success. And I would say maybe another advantage of franchising is that someday down the road, if you go to sell that business, the equity value of that business probably will be greater because you're part of a franchise.
Yeah, so those are all great points, and totally agree. And business can be lonely, and so having that support system is so important. Having that community of other business owners doing the same thing is important. So people underestimate how much it takes to start a business from the beginning. Everything you have to do, it takes really years, which is why so many businesses fail, I think. And you don't have to worry about that with a franchise. You get everything you need up front to get your business going, so yeah, awesome. So who do you serve? I mean, really, who's your best customer, your target audience?
Yeah, so obviously on the residential side, it's the middle market, upper middle market, affluent homeowner who, with all of our brands, are focused on the outdoors. Mm-hmm. So it's a homeowner who takes pride in their outdoors. They may want to extend the living space that they have to the outdoors. They want to spend more time outdoors. So again, all of our residential brands, they cater to that. On the commercial side, of course, it's more business owners who own a property that needs to be cleaned by JanPro every night. Let's say the FRSTeam business is a restoration business. So we're working with insurance companies. We're working with contractors who bring us in to help a homeowner restore their home back to the condition that it was. And then our Intelligent Office business, we're dealing with business owners just like us, that might want a shared workspace, might want business services, and would then partner with intelligent office.
Yeah, so you got one aspect that's B2C, business to consumers. The other ones are B2B. But what about the franchisees? What's your ideal
The target franchisee.
target for a franchisee?
Yeah, so I think we're looking for, typically our franchisee is someone who's coming out of corporate America, who wants to take ownership of their destiny. They want to control their career in their life. Typically that person has reached a point in corporate America where they're stuck and they have no place else to go, and they want to turn to franchising and turn to business ownership. So we're looking for someone who typically has a sales and marketing background, because we don't have a retail storefront with our businesses. It's really important that they invest in and focus on the sales and marketing aspect of the business. We're looking for someone with leadership skills, has optimism, and has the ability to recruit and build a team. Hopefully they've done that in their past career. Our most successful franchisees are ones that have put a world-class team in place. They've recruited the right team. They've trained them in this environment they're in. They're able to retain them as well, because they take care of them.
Right. That's you're spot on with that, man. So many people are having troubles with employees, and I always come back to them. It's really the environment that you've put in place for them. It's the culture you have in your business. It's got to be intentional. It's got to be a great environment that people want to love to come to work for. So it's great to hear that you're not having problems with that. But I'm sure COVID brought some issues, probably different to different businesses. Can you explain how that maybe affected one or two of the franchises, and maybe a few things that you did to pivot on that?
Sure. Yeah, we were lucky, Kelly, that we were in the home services space with 4 of our brands. Those businesses thrived throughout the second half of 2020 into 2021 because homeowners were spending more time at home. They were looking around and seeing every day what needed to be improved, what needed to be repaired, and that really fueled a lot of demand and growth for all of our brands. I would say where we had to pivot some is how we worked with our customers. We went to a lot more to technology like this. We were doing Zoom consultations. We were working with the homeowners outside their home versus going inside the home. So there were a lot of SOPs that we had to change. Simply because of the environment we were in. So I think COVID, fortunately for us, fueled a lot of growth. It was actually helped us in a way, but there's no doubt that from an operational standpoint, all of our franchisees had to change the way they did business every day, the way the technicians or the employees or the teams, the way they drove to the job site. We had to separate them, the masks and everything that they had to change. The franchisees were the ones who had to pivot very, very, very fast, and they did a fantastic job of that. So the business was not really impacted that much. I would say we had limited supply chain interruption, I think in part because we're a franchise. We have very strong manufacturer and distribution relationships, and when you have size and scale, that helps a lot when there's supply chain issues. So we were lucky, I think, that because we're in the franchising business and because of our size and because of the strong relationships we have, we did not see, I think, some of the same supply chain interruptions that maybe some of our peers saw that
Mhm.
were in individuals who own their own their own operations.
Yeah. So I'm interested in the Jam Pro. That's the commercial cleaning, right?
Uh-huh.
So is there anything that they had to pivot, or were they still good? Or, because we had some cleaning companies we coached and they were able to pivot because of COVID to do other things that supported it. Did you guys do the same type
Yeah,
of thing?
so I would say the biggest change that Janpo had, they went into the disinfectant world, where they were now not just cleaning a workspace, they were disinfecting, spraying that space as well. So we actually, that business as well, saw a little bit of a shot in the arm because of that.
Excellent.
So yes, there were some new services that the JanPro franchisees did provide, and several of their customers have continued to use those, even as
Yeah.
COVID has it's somewhat in the rear view mirror. The customers still want the franchisees to still disinfect, even though COVID is now somewhat in the past.
Yeah, we saw the same thing where things that people pivoted to, they actually kept, and there was another revenue stream
Yep.
for them after when everything went semi back to normal. So that's pretty awesome. So Scott, what's the biggest learning you've had since being a business owner?
Wow, that's a great question. I would say a couple things. First, put the right team in place and get out of the way. That's a really important something I've learned over the years is, as a business owner, your job is to put the right folks in the right seats and allow them to do their job. So I've learned to be a servant leader. My job is to support them in their roles and make sure they can be successful in their roles. As the CEO of a big business. So that's one thing, Kelly, I've learned over the years. I think also a piece of advice would be to make sure you're well capitalized. Capital is the fuel that you have, and making sure that there's capital for growth, and capital for tough times if there's a rainy day. So it really works on both ends. Sometimes you want to put the foot on the gas and accelerate your growth. Well, that takes capital. Right. Or if the business is having a challenge, that may take capital. So having access to capital is critically important. And then the last thing I would say is make sure you have a strategic plan, have a vision for where you want to go. Mm-hmm. We've always looked out 5 years. We've always put a 5-year strategic plan in place. And then we work backwards. Where do we have to be in 3? And where do we have to be in the current year? And that has served us and served our leadership team incredibly well over the years.
That is some great advice. And we also, also coach that. Obviously, you got to have that vision out to 5 years, and then we really coach them 90 days at a time. It's quarter by quarter to achieve those goals, right? With very specific tasks, and then accountability, right? Because there's no one else to hold it, who holds the business owner accountable, right? It's so easy to push stuff off. So, I really, man, this is some great comments, some great tips that you brought out. What's the future look like for the company and for LYNC Franchising, and where do you see the main challenges moving forward?
Yeah, so we're trying to go, obviously, with the 7 brands that we currently have. We want to continue to see strong organic growth with those brands. That means continuing to bring on new franchisees, successfully launch them, but also see our existing franchisees scale and grow and reach the goals they have. A big part of our vision is to continue to acquire brands. So I see ourselves over the next 2-3 years, most likely having 3 or 4 new brands, whether it's in the residential or commercial side. of the business. So we see continued aggressive growth. We'll have more brands. Our team will continue to grow. We'll continue to provide the excellent support and training that our franchisees need. From a challenges standpoint, labor continues to be a challenge that all our franchisees have. I think all business owners face that right now. I think, how you get creative with that will be very important in the years ahead. And I think for us, where we are in our life cycle as a business, it's how do we control our growth? How do we do it in a managed, thoughtful, disciplined way where we're as efficient as we can be while we're still growing at this rapid pace?
Yeah, excellent. Great. Thanks for sharing all of that. Hey, last question. Any offers or anything like that you'd like to include in the newsletter?
Let's see. So, I mean, we have offers for our franchisees for new, is that what you're referring to?
Anything, any offers for, that, I don't know if you guys run, company wide across all your franchisees, certain things, or just something that you want to get out there for as a franchisor.
Yeah, I think for us, it's really all about, we're looking for individuals who want to, if you're looking to own your own business, what we have to offer you is variety. So we have a selection of brands that we're able to take a prospective franchisee and match them up with the business and the brand that is the best fit for them. So it's really about the process we go through when somebody comes to us and says, I'd like to explore business ownership and franchising. We then can go through a process with them to figure out which brand might be the best fit for them.
Okay, excellent. So folks out there that want to, maybe grow, want to add another business, if they're current business owners, you've got multiple brands to choose from, so it'd be great for them to look into that. Scott, that wraps up the interview. Nice job. Thanks so much for taking time with us today.
Kelly, thanks so much.